Hey, I'm back. Welcome everybody to another episode of Ask Lovely. As you know, I have an email address where people who are not subscribers or people who do not have YouTube channels, where you can go and send me a message regarding anything that you're going through in your life. So I had a question about a dryer, and it was just their luck. My dryer here went out too. So I'm going to show you how to troubleshoot um, a couple of possible issues that may be wrong with your dryer. So, number one, you always want to check your breaker and make sure that, see here, mine says dryer written right there. So you want to check and make sure that your breaker switch didn't go off, and see if that's a possible problem. Another thing is that it could simply be a fuse. So you want to check your fuse. And the third thing, which is my problem, and it also sounds like your problem, is light on the inside was actually on, and I could not get the dryer to start. Well, the problem ended up being the switch. So if you have a dryer, this is a Whirlpool high efficiency sensor dryer. And I don't want you to confuse this with the switch that I'm talking about. This switch here is not even a switch. This is just what helps the door right here go up and close and stay closed. But there's another switch that actually goes right up under here. It's usually in the corner or somewhere along here on either part of your dryer. There's a switch that when you close the door, the button pushes in and it tells your dryer that the door is shut, therefore allowing your dryer to begin to spin. Well, my switch had broke. Let me see if I can show you what the switch looks like. Bear with me. So this was the original switch. It goes in the dryer. And right in here, there was a lever. And the lever here is broke. So this lever is when you close the door, it tells the dryer to begin. Here's the new part that I bought. And here's how the switch is supposed to look. You see, my switch here broke. I simply went down, I called around for the nearest appliance store in my neighborhood, and I went down and I was able to buy this piece for $10. Now, I did see this part on like Amazon and other appliance stores that you can call and order online, but by the time I was finished with the shipping, it would have came up to more than $10. Plus, I would have had to have waited a couple of days to get the part. And I guess that's still a good thing to do if you don't have an appliance store in your area that will that you can just go pick the part up. And so I'm going to show you how I'm going to put it on. Now, what you didn't get to see is how I disassembled the dryer myself. I didn't show that, so I'm going to show that to you right now. So if you have this type of dryer here, you just pull the vent out. It was two screws right here. So I pulled the vent out. I unscrewed it with a simple screwdriver. And then, once you get it out, all you have to do is pop this up, this lining right here. And I just used a flathead screwdriver. And hopefully you can see this. I'm just going to take this, stick it in there, and lift on that side and come over here and do the same thing on the other side. And that's all it took. So, you unscrew it first from here, pop it up with a screwdriver or whatever you have. That's what I use, this simple flathead. Pop it up, and voila, the whole thing lifts right up. And then, I just use a bottle, sat it here, and that held it up for me. Now, as you can see on the inside, this switch is already connected. So what I had did was, this was connected like this to this. I just popped that off of there, and then on the inside, up underneath here, there's two screws. See that? There were two screws. I know it's hard to see, up underneath there. And I just used a screwdriver and I unscrewed it, and this thing, it popped right out. Like, it didn't even take 10 minutes. So now I have the new piece, and all I'm gonna do is go back in, attach this to this, screw it back in underneath, and we'll see what happens. Talking about do it yourself, because I just don't have the money, you know. So you see these two pieces, I'm just going to plug that right in there. And as you can see, as soon as I touched it, the light in the dryer came on. So I know that I'm doing something right. Okay. So I don't know if you can see this, but it has an arrow shape right here. Well, this plug has an arrow shape on it as well. So you want to make sure you line the arrow shapes up. And then you just snap it on. You just snap it on just like that. Okay? Okay. So I attached it. And now you come, and can you see this opening right here? I'm doing this backwards, but right here. Okay. That's where we're going to stick this. Now, how do you know if you're sticking it in the right way? Well, if you put it in this way, if you put it in the wrong way and you shut the door, the light is still on in the dryer. When you put it in the right direction, the light will not be on. So, in this case, my dryer, for the light to go off, it has to be this way. And then when I shut the door, boom, the light is off. And that's how you know if you put it in the right direction. So every dryer might be different. So now I'm getting ready to come in with these little screws. I'm going to screw, it's only 2 holes. I'm going to screw these into this hole and that hole. And then I'll come back and show you next what to do. So the 2 screws that I was talking about that I said go in on the inside right here, they actually go in on the outside, as I'm about to show you now. As you can see here, it has those 2 screws, and this here is the switch that broke. So when you saw me put it down in there, all you have to do is come and tighten these 2 screws at the bottom, and you see the light is on, so it's working. But as soon as I shut the door, the light will go off and the dryer should start. And that's basically all you're doing to get that back in place. Is screw that in just like that. Okay, so now that we have that screwed in place, this is attached here. We go and we have to assemble the dryer back together. You just remove the lid, the bottle that was holding it up. Make sure you clamp this back down in place on both sides. See that? Where it basically just snap back together. And then remember those 2 screws that I said this is a great time to clean your vent out. Okay. Then you come and you grab your 2 screws. Make sure it's lined up. See, it needs to be lined up on both sides. We're going to put those screws back in. Remember, it's lefty-loosey, righty-tighty. Put those back in place. Okay, so I've screwed those back in place. I'm going to put my shield back in. Boom. And if I did this right, I should be able to push this button and the dryer will start. And voila. There it is. Back to running. So, as you can see, it's up, it's running. I did it myself. It cost me $10. It took me 10 minutes to disassemble, 10 minutes to put it back together, 10 minutes to go get the part, and $10 for the part. You cannot beat it for do it yourself because I priced it. Had I went out and ordered a repair person to come out, I would have easily spent over $100. So you heard it right here on the Lovely Bone Show. Again, a quick fix to why your dryer may not start. So I'm going to put some links at the bottom to some of the places where you can go to order your part. Like there was Amazon and another repair store, I can't remember, where you can order them offline. You just type in your model number and type in the part, and it'll just tell you what to do and how to order it. But again, if there's someone in your neighborhood, and this is great for keeping local business in business, instead of always ordering online. We still have to support our local businesses. So I supported my local business, if at all possible, and you can get it at a fair price, do the same. And like I say, you save a lot of money on the shipping and handling, do so. So there it is, my dryer's up and running, and I am a happy camper. So please, again, if you have any questions, right here below, info@thelovelybones.show. If I don't know how to do it, I will figure it out for you, and I will get back to you. Until the next time we meet, peace and love, everybody.